Session 83. Got what it takes?
John has been having problems with one of his medical interns at the hospital. The young physician wishes to complete a specialty track medical residency that will last 4 years, but in his first month, it was obvious that the intern was in way over his head, and the second month proved to be no better. Now, in the third month, it has become clear to John that the intern was not meant to be a doctor. Approaching him about his performance and a reconsideration if his career is not a task John is relishing, so he decides to talk to Sophie about it, to see if she can offer some advice.
I just don't know what to do about him. I'm not being too harsh, am I?
I really don't know, John. Do you feel as if he can improve?
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no. It's 3 months on now, and he's still making the same mistakes as he did when he started. At this stage, you'd think inserting a drip would be a piece of cake, but he manages to make a mess of it every time.
Oh dear, that is a concern. You don't think he is having problems outside of work, do you?
I have no idea, but that shouldn't factor into it, should it? I mean, he knows he has a job to do, and if he thinks he isn't up for it, he should tell someone. He should tell me. But every day it's the same. Blissful ignorance of procedures, an inability to get something right no matter how many times he's shown. Every time I speak to him about it, he says, "Yes, doctor, it won't happen again," or "I'll try harder," but it does happen again, and he isn't trying hard enough.
Well, it's really up to you, John, but if you feel that he's beyond hope, then of course you'll have to let him go, won't you?
I know. I've always known. I just don't want to be the one to tell him. It's an awful thing to do to anyone. All that training and studying only to be told you're not cut out for it. Maybe I could clean out his locker, leave his stuff at reception and hide.
It's not the first time you've had to do this, and it certainly won't be the last. Tell him your concerns. Maybe suggest that he gets a job at the free clinic. That way, he won't be unemployed. He'll get a wage and some further experience without putting people's lives at risk. Otherwise, what's he going to do? Wait until he kills someone and then fire him?
The free clinic is a good idea. I'm sure I heard about a new daycare centre that is opening. I could give them a call. That way, I'd save him a job hunt and I won't feel so awkward. Hopefully he'll find a new calling and put the idea of becoming a medical doctor behind him.
Maybe. Whatever happens, it's not your responsibility, is it? Your responsibility is to the patients. If he does really hurt someone, or there are too many complaints about him, it'll come down to you, won't it? You can't spend all your time covering for him. There are many people that need you.
Okay, thanks, Sophie. I'll feel a bit better about this now. I'll speak to him tomorrow. Let me get the number for the clinic, and I'll give them a ring now. I will say this for him. He never messed up doing stitches and handing out medication. I'd be very surprised if he messed this up.
I don't envy you having to do this, John, but it's the right thing to do.
I know. Thanks again.
You're welcome. John managed to find a job for the intern at a daycare centre, helping people with cuts and scrapes and distributing medication. The next day, he told the intern that he was dismissed, much to the dismay of the intern, but the blow was softened by the prospect of further employment. He admitted that he was out of his depth in the hospital and certainly needed more practice and time to evaluate his career choice. In the end, they both left with a smile and a handshake. John breathed a sigh of relief and got back to tending to his patients.